Hey class, it is Mrs. Gilling here, and we are just about to start our Unit 4 video assignment. And this one is all about your second project revolving around personality profile. Super cool stuff. But before we do that, joke of the unit. Let's do it. All right, here's a cool picture. Gotta look at the picture for this one. It's a battery sitting at his therapy session, and he says, I just try to focus on the positive side of things. Get it? Because the battery has a positive side and a negative side. Ha! I love puns. I hope you love puns too. Okay, if you don't love puns, we'll learn about your personality this time and see why you don't love puns, maybe. So here you go. We're going to learn all about your project requirements for this one. So here's the background that you're going to need for this second project. Personality tests are wildly popular. Workplaces use them to evaluate job applicants or to help employees get along. Schools use them to help students explore potential careers. People take them just for fun, to see what makes them tick. Maybe to discover their strengths and weaknesses, or to compare what they know of themselves with what a test results might say. What makes these tests so popular? Do people really need a test to tell them if they are extroverts or introverts, logical or creative? Do these tests have value for psychologists or for the people taking them? These are questions you'll think about in this project. And I would almost bet money that every one of you has at some point has taken some sort of a personality test, whether it be something on like a Facebook that pops up like determine what your personality is, or maybe you've done it in school before. But you're going to get some opportunities in this project to think about these questions and to actually take a few personality tests again and to learn some cool stuff about yourself and to decide if these tests are worthwhile, if they're beneficial. So here's what's going on. The objective. For this project, you will explore your own personality. Isn't it fun to dig into our own selves? First, you will reflect on your own personality, thinking about your own experiences, emotions, and behaviors. Then you will complete 2 different personality assessment tools to compare, contrast, and evaluate the results. You will need to consider the similarities and differences between the tools and the results, as well as the reliability and validity of the different techniques. So here's what you're going to do in step 1. It's broken up into 2 parts and 2 lessons. So in step 1, you're going to write a personality self-assessment. Think about what you've learned about theories of personality and personality traits. What combination of factors makes a personality? What makes you, you? So for this section, you're going to write a paragraph in which you first define personality. So based off what you've studied in this unit, what is personality? And then second, you're going to describe your personality in as much detail as possible. So that's the key here. Make sure to give as much detail as possible. These need to be about a paragraph long, so we want to make sure we're getting all the details in that we can. So that's the first part of step 1. The second part of step 2 are some short, some more questions. So step 2, sorry, I'm confusing the 2 projects. So that was step 1, and this is step 2. For step 2, using an objective personality tool. Briefly research these common objective personality assessment techniques. So you go online and type them in and start doing some research about them. There's the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, the Eyesink's 3 Dimensions of Personality, and the Big 5 Personality Test. So do some research, study each of those out a little bit, and then choose one of these objective personality assessment techniques to test for yourself. Take an online version of this assessment. Then write the name of the test, the link you used, a brief description of what you did, and your results. So after you've kind of looked over each of those a little bit, I want you to pick one of them and go find a personality test revolved around those that you can take. If for some reason you're having trouble finding one, let me know. I can help you out. But yeah, take one of the tests online and then follow those steps. So really make sure that you do in your response, let me know what test you chose, put the link to the test, describe what you did in your test, and then tell me the results that popped out. Give me a summary of what you learned about yourself based on those results. The next step, step number 3, is using a projective personality assessment tool. So this is a different type. You're going to learn about each of these assessment types in your readings. So briefly research these common projective personality assessment techniques, the Rorschach test and the thematic apperception test. Choose one of these projective personality assessment techniques to test for yourself. Take an online version of the test, then write the name of the test, the link you used, a brief description of what you did, and your results. So the same thing as last time, but with this different type of test. Step 4, comparing personality assessment techniques. What made each test you took an objective or projective personality assessment tool? Consider the following questions. How did the types of questions differ? How did your test results differ? Which test better reflects your own perception of your personality? So you're going to analyze the two tests that you took, explain why one of them was objective and one of them was projective, and then let us know how the two types of questions differed, how your results differed, and then based on your experience, which one is more accurate towards who you are. So what we're really trying to figure out in this question is in your opinion, which one of these is a better tool to actually determine personality? And then the last step 5, evaluating personality assessment techniques. Consider this statement from cat people, dog people, gecko people, an article you read. So this is something that you'll be reading as part of your unit. And this is the statement that came from that. Asking people to describe their own personalities has limits. Everyone wants to look good. What are some of the limitations of online personality assessment tools? What might be some benefits of using these tools? Keeping in mind that statement you just read. Do you feel that the objective or projective assessment techniques you research are valid and reliable? Why or why not? Support your answers. So, looking back on all this project that you've done, analyzing everything, do you feel like these techniques are valid and reliable? Do they measure what they're supposed to measure? Can that be repeated? Why or why not? Make sure to support your answer with things that you learned and with evidence from your reading. And that's your 5 steps for your test. Pretty simple, pretty fun. A lot of freedom here for you to choose which ones you want to research and which ones you want to study. But this is what you'll be graded on. First of all, like your last project, grammar. You need to make sure that you're writing paragraphs and that you're using correct spelling and punctuation and complete sentences, that it looks good. Completeness, did you address all parts of each prompt? So if it has 3 questions, I want you to have 3 answers in there, right? If it says to explain why, make sure you're explaining why. If it says to include the link, include the link. Just pay really good attention to the things it asks you to do in each section and do those things. And then lastly, accuracy. Are your statements correct? Are they revolved around things that you read, things that you studied? Just make sure that you're giving good information. And like the other project, I do allow 3 attempts on these. So if you turn it in and you don't quite get everything right that you would like to, I'll leave you some feedback, some things you can work on. You can work on those things and resubmit your project, and I will regrade it so you can improve your grade. Because we're all about learning here, right? Hopefully you find this to be a fun project. I think personality assessments are kind of cool. I think they're fun to look at. If you have any questions at all, as always, let me know. But other than that, you guys have a great day.